Hey, Carson. It's a pleasure to meet you. I believe
Yeah,
we
great to
did a
meet you as well.
yeah, we did a brief story on you before, I
Mhm.
believe, or spotlight. And ever since then, I've been seeing you everywhere. Shazam, and then Netflix shows. How's life been in the last 3 or 4 years?
Good, good. It's been 3, 4 years. It's been exciting. I mean, we all had that little I guess we'll call it a hiccup for 2 years where everything kind of shut down for a while, but it's been nice getting back into the industry, back into acting. A lot of exciting stuff going on right now. So yeah, I've been good.
So you want to tell us about one of your newer projects? It sounds like it's going to be a hoot.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's a movie Luckiest Girl Alive that's coming out, starring Mila Kunis. It's based on a book that was originally done by Jessica Knoll. It was a best-selling book, I believe, in 2014. And I mean, I think this project's fantastic. I'm really excited to be a part of it. Cast, the crew, everyone on board is so talented. So I really think it's going to be a good one.
So tell us a little bit about the role, and do you play opposite of Mila?
Kind of. To anyone that's familiar with the source material, it's like it's a story that jumps back and forth in timelines where they have like a timeline that's in the past and then older versions of all the characters, a lot of the characters. And so I act opposite young Mila a lot, who is played by Chiara Aurelia, who is also a fantastic actress. She's incredible. So most of my scenes are filmed back in the day and like the flashback stuff. But yeah, the character is it's a very intense material. So I was really excited to dive into it when I first got the script and stuff. I remember when we were auditioning for it and I was doing the callback speaking with the director, Mike Barker, when we first started. They really just wanted to hammer home like a lot of the intense themes in the project. They wanted to make sure that they hammered home just how dark and gritty some of the situations that the characters are in can be. And so we really steered into that when we were filming, which was awesome.
Cool. Wow. You are extremely intelligent.
Oh, thanks.
These roles are like there's like super like fantastically smart kind of like cool roles. How did you get involved in this kind of world? Because I mean, this is a very intelligent world. It's very cerebral, very
Mhm.
in your head. I mean, how did you fall into this world?
Totally. Yeah. I mean, at first I really just stumbled into it. It was just I would do musicals in middle school. Then in high school, I had a friend that wanted to do a film TV class, but didn't want to do it alone. And so they asked if I'd be interested in doing it. I said, yeah, why not? Give it a try. And from there, I got the acting bug and I've just been doing it ever since. Love it.
So are you really so obviously you do very well with monologues and lengthy materials with I guess challenging vocabulary words.
I mean, I have a big interest in reading, writing, stuff like that. So I mean, vocabulary, grammar in general, it's like a weird little fascination of mine. So yeah, I think it serves me well with acting. But it's fun when I get characters like the one I play in this film because a lot of the dialogue, because it's such a dated time, like it happens. I think our characters in the '90s, and so we kind of had to get a lot of the language that was around at that time and use that for improvisation, for lines in the scenes and stuff, and kind of get a grasp on that instead of using stuff that I'd say like now instead.
So that's cool. Yeah, that sounds like you're really in a very dynamic space.
It's a lot
Um,
of fun. It was definitely dynamic. Yeah.
so what are some of your I guess what are some of the other projects you have coming up or in your pipeline?
Totally, yeah. I have one movie that's coming out later this year. I'm not sure if I can say that I'm in the movie yet, so I'm not going to say the name of it, which is exciting. And then next year, there's 2 or 3 things that are currently in the works to start filming soon. So I'm really excited about those. Again, I don't know if I can start talking about them yet, but yeah. So a few things that hopefully will be popping up soon that I can mention more.
Right. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put you on blast.
Oh no, you're good.
So, can you tell us a little bit? Let's rewind a little bit and talk about your upbringing, and about your family, if that's
Totally,
okay
yeah.
with you.
Oh yeah, of course. My immediate family, I got mom, dad, who I grew up in a place called Oakville. It's just outside of Toronto. I got a younger brother, but he looks like he's 26, so everyone always thinks he's older than I am. we were a big baseball family growing up. I don't know why, but my brother and I both played high level baseball. He still plays in the States now. He's at Ventura College playing baseball. So yeah, no, we were heavy on the sports growing up, and then the arts was something that I kind of did on the side a lot of. He never got into it that much, but yeah, for like a year or two there, I was kind of deciding between the two, like which route I wanted to go. Sports, more into the arts, and then I just eventually I was like, I'm not enjoying these baseball practices anymore. I got to get out of here. So I just went all in on the acting.
Yes, that's a cool story. I can see you playing a baseball player in an up
Oh,
and
that'd be
coming
fun.
project.
Yeah.
So the sports that you played, what positions were you in?
In baseball, I was a catcher and an outfielder. I pitched a little bit when I was younger, but as I got older, I was never that good. Yeah, I was normally a catcher, and then I'd play outfield every now and then as well.
And what are some of your favorite teams in the Major League Baseball?
Totally, yeah. I mean, growing up, I was a Boston fan just because I love David Ortiz. But now that I'm a bit older, I'm all in on the Blue Jays, man. Toronto, I gotta represent. I love basketball though. That's like my favorite sport to watch and play now, which is funny. But yeah, huge Toronto Raptors fan. That's my team.
Right, you guys are having an explosion in Canada too,
Yeah,
especially with the music scene.
totally.
Who are some of your favorite artists?
Favorite artists, man. Um, Recently, I don't know why I've been listening to a lot of Elton John for some reason. I just got like his record on vinyl and I love it. But all-time favorites, I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan. I love Kendrick. Big Nas fan as well. Uh, can't think of anyone off the top of my head right now. Yeah, I really like hip hop music. I think Kendrick is just brilliant. Like his lyrics, man. I see videos online and stuff, and I'll just like dive into like the dissection of his music and things. I like listening to a lot of movie scores recently. That's like a new one for me. Like I'll pull up like Whiplash music sometimes every now and then if I'm like doing something around the house or cleaning or whatever. Um, yeah, J. Cole as well. Big fan of his.
Yeah, I like J. Cole too. He's
Yeah.
got it going on. I mean, I like Drake as well.
Oh, Drake's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like you too. It's kind of like a hodgepodge right now because it's like I feel like we've been in the house for so long. It's kind of like I want to get out. I have my own soundtrack in my head.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And speaking of which, how was life, I guess, for you during the pandemic? Were any of your family
Yeah.
member or friends affected by the pandemic? Um,
None of my immediate family or friends were heavily affected, which was a very fortunate thing. For the first 2 years that COVID, I mean, I remember when COVID first hit, I used to still most of the time split my time between Toronto and LA. And I was actually in LA when it first happened, and no one knew what the hell was going on. And so I had to like rush back home because we didn't know if Canada was closing the border, what was going on there and stuff. But yeah, life during COVID it was weird at first, man. Like for a few months there, it was just me and my buddies would play video games because we had nothing else to do, and that was it. But that's when I got into basketball really heavily, like playing, because I had a basketball net in my front yard, and so that was kind of like one of the only physical activities I could do, and so I'd just be out there playing all the time. But yeah, I lucked out. I didn't get COVID until I got it like 2 years after the pandemic first hit. And I remember by that point, like it didn't affect me too bad. It was like pretty easy for me. But yeah, it was a wild time there for a little bit.
and how did you cope with schoolwork? Were you in school?
Kind of, yeah. I mean, university, but I would do like everything was online, which honestly kind of helped me for a while there because there was a little bit of overlap between filming times and when I'd have to also be doing like classes. And so the fact that they were online made it really easy for me to just kind of do the work on my own time instead of having to like show up in person and stuff. But yeah, so I did part-time for a while there just because when I had stuff that I was shooting, like Luckiest Girl Alive, for example, we filmed that one. That one was in the summer, but I filmed a TV show before that, Lock and Key, that was like kind of crossed over with some of my courses. And so, yeah, I'd like be on set all day and then I get home and do like an hour or two of just schoolwork to get it done and stuff.
Ooh, can you elaborate on the Lock and Key project? I
Yeah,
was just
totally.
yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a fun one. I got to play a character that was from like the 1700s during the start of like the Revolutionary War, which was awesome. They gave me like a full-on mullet and I had like this cool costume and stuff. It was great. I had a blast doing that. That character was a lot of fun. I got to do a lot of action stuff in that, which was cool too. Like we were running around with like muskets, reloading, like run through caves and stuff. It was great.
Yeah, I'm noticing that. I'm like Carson is doing all the like the little stuff. Are you doing your own stunts? Because you're like doing so much active acting, so to speak. Like your acting is three-dimensional and interactive. Are you doing stunts as well?
So far, yeah. I mean, if they let me, then oh yeah, I'll always do it. I'm trying to think. I think for the Shazam, when I did Shazam, I remember me and the actor that played my brother Evan in the show. They had two stunt doubles that would like show us how to do all the things, and they were so good at it that I was like, man, they should just cast these guys to do the roles. But no, we got to do all this stuff for that one as well. Yeah, no, so far I've been able to. If something comes up where I can't, like, I'm sure I'll be like, that's okay. I'll probably hurt myself doing it anyways, but as long as I can do them, yeah, I love doing stunts.
And what was one of your most memorable stunts you've ever done?
Oh, it's got to be for Shazam. They had for Shazam, they had a scene at the end of the movie where an entire Ferris wheel kind of falls down, and they actually made that like full-sized Ferris wheel, and they had me and my brother strapped in at the top of it, and the whole thing was on hydraulics where it would like shift down to like a 45-degree angle, and we'd be sitting in this thing while it was actually falling. It was crazy. That was wild. That one, because it felt really real. Like it was a full real like fair going on and everything. So that has to be the number one for me.
Yeah, that sounds pretty intense.
Yeah, it was crazy.
This is great. So, do you have any community involvement at the moment? Are you involved in any philanthropic organizations or?
Kind of. I mean, I like help out a little bit with the Young Street Project, which is a thing in Toronto that's going on right now. But a lot of the more
Can you elaborate on a Young Street Project so people that don't know what that is, they can
yeah,
figure out?
totally. It's basically just supporting homeless people that live in Toronto, providing them with stuff and donating things. I just moved apartments in Toronto, and so I had to get rid of a lot of the stuff that I had in my place. And so most of it just comes from like donating the things I don't need anymore, making sure it goes to someone else instead of like throwing it away or recycling it. Yeah, so that's kind of where most of my, I guess, community involvement comes in. But yeah, as far as community goes, I just love being a part of the community in Toronto and stuff. There's a lot of like really cool outdoor things that go on in the summertime, like live music that'll happen, like open, like I love supporting music in the city because there's a lot of cool like open mics that are going on, a lot of cool live performances where there isn't even admission fees, and there's these incredible artists that are performing and stuff. And I love to go and check them out and kind of shine a spotlight if I can, if I think if they're good.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Cornell. So I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. So we're right across the water from Windsor.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, and then when I went to Cornell, I used to drive from Buffalo all the way down from through Canada. But
Yeah.
I never really stopped in Toronto, and I feel so bad because everybody was like, "You should have stopped," and I was like, "That's a beautiful city," but the energy of the city and the I guess just the DNA of it is just
Hmm.
it's so diverse, and like you said, the live music scene, particularly the Caribbean. Carnival. Did you go to Carnival?
I didn't this year. I remember it was happening. That was a crazy weekend. Where was I? Because I wanted to check it out, but I think I was away at a friend's cottage for the weekend or something. But yeah, I had a lot of friends that went to that, and it looked like such a good time.
Yeah, it was like
Mhm.
a blast. So where do you see yourself? I mean, because right now, I mean, you have so many things going on. I mean, and to be a part of the DC Comics family, you already know that's like epic. And then you're working on I'm sure you're doing some kind of sequel or for Shazam as well, right?
We'll have to see about that one, but maybe.
I'm sure you are. You're such a great. Yeah, you are. So tell us about, I guess, I want to know more about, or actually, can you forecast where you see yourself in the next actually 3 years from now?
3 years. All right. 3 years. 3 years. I'd love to do, it's hard to say exactly where I'd want me to be, but I know the kind of characters I'd want to be playing in 3 years. Because for me, the goal is the same for the next 3, 5, 10, 15 years. I just want to keep on acting because I love it so much. But in 3 years, I'd love to do some more period stuff. I love doing roles where I get to play characters that are in a different time frame, a different world, even. Also, with all these like fantasy shows coming out with like House of the Dragon, The Rings of Power, I'd love doing something like that. I think those are so cool. Yeah, just that like total wish fulfillment, crazy wild projects like that. I'd love to be a part of something like that.
Yeah, yeah, you definitely have the face for it because you look like you know, and you're a great actor. Like I said before, you're very cerebral. You can handle copy, and I think that's most important, especially for people in your age group. But, you know, have you been nominated for any awards lately, or?
I worked on a film that is actually coming out soon. It's called East and Middle West. It's coming on to like Apple Store, Amazon, stuff like that. Where I won the Best Actor award for that film at the Montreal Film Festival. So that was really cool to hear. Yeah, that was a good one.
Well, congratulations on that. Yeah, I can tell because I'm like, your eyes are so strong. It's like I feel like I'm in a scene with you.
Thanks.
I'm trying to
Oh,
dodge
man.
your eye. But no, I'm sure you've been told you have very strong eye contact, which is, that to me, that's like a really good actor. And you're on it. So is there anything else that you haven't? Yeah, I know. Is there anything else that we haven't touched on that you would like to touch on? Oh, before I forget, I'm sure people want to know about your style. Because right now,
Totally,
you're
yeah.
always kind of like, you get this cool hip, like this Jay-Z type of flavor.
Jay-Z, man, I'll take Jay-Z. Are you kidding me? That's awesome.
Well, Jay-Z's always wearing stuff. He's always wearing garments or pieces that don't like scream like, what today I have my little Ivy Park on, but
Looks
Jay-Z is
good.
like, it's like you're always, it's always like one color, monochromatic,
Yeah, for sure.
tonal tone.
I do love monochromatic stuff for like nicer events for some reason. It's so clean to me. I like the look of it. But as far as like day-to-day style goes, I'm really getting into like more like for pants and stuff, summertime. Like I like linen stuff, like loose kind of flowy pants, stuff like that. I got a lot of nice jackets that I like to wear all the time. So fall season, now that it's coming in, I'm really excited for. But yeah, I sometimes try and like blend like some more like classical items with more like trendy, I guess, streetwear style brands. But yeah, I just like keeping it new, to be honest with you. Like I have a few staples in my wardrobe that I'll always come back to, but trying them out with like new things, like whatever I find at I don't know, like new things that are coming out that are trending right now. I love finding stuff like that and trying to pair it with more old school stuff.
What are some of your cooler items that you have in your closet that are staples or your go-to
Totally,
pieces?
yeah. I got a few, man. I got so many jackets from John Varvatos and All Saints. Like those are
I
the.
knew you were gonna say
I'm
I
pretty
knew
sure
you
this
were gonna
one's from
say
All
that.
Saints, to being
I
honest.
knew you
Yeah.
were gonna say. Look, I knew you were gonna say that. Watch this. You're gonna laugh. Watch. You're gonna laugh. Watch this. I
Okay.
almost wore this on camera for you. I had no clue why.
Oh yeah.
Look.
Oh no way. That's sick.
I
I
just
think
got
I have
this.
that. I think I
I
have that
know.
same jacket in like a charcoal gray, like literally the same thing. That's
It's the
that's awesome.
Milo. It's the Milo. Remember the
Yeah.
Milo is like the staple one. Yeah,
Mhm.
and now they have these new hardware. I was just about to say it because I was looking at your style and I was like, you look so all saints. I was like,
Yeah. No,
something
100%.
told me to wear this today. I'm so sorry, bro. I knew I
All
shouldn't do
good.
that.
All good.
Because I always have this weird thing I forecast or just kind of like, I
Yeah.
don't know, premonitions of what you guys are going to wear when I
Totally.
speak to
Yeah.
you. But that is so creepy because I was looking at your jacket, I was like, this is a All Saints kind of cut.
This is. I think this one's from All Saints, but yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
I
that's
love their stuff. I wear their stuff all the time.
nice. That's cool. That's great to know.
Yeah.
What are some of your and so and then do you have you been dabbling in anything creative, like making art or building anything or doing any hacks or do-it-yourself projects at home? Have you been doing any of that?
I mean, I like writing stuff. Eventually I'd want to get into that as well as the acting, but unlike, and I'm not good at it at all, but I just started painting for fun recently. Like I've done like 3 or 4 paintings at home because it's the most therapeutic thing in the world for some reason. I'll just sit at home like with my girlfriend or something and we'll just like paint like these silly little like landscape things. We'll try and like copy them online and stuff. But oh yeah, they're amazing. They're a lot of fun.
What kind of paintings are you doing? And what kind of mediums are you using? Are you using oil or water-based or like,
I think it's just acrylic paints.
oh,
They're
yeah.
they're like I haven't painted since I was in grade 8, and I just started doing it like a few weeks ago. So they're really they're really rough, but they're fun. I'll just do like landscape stuff. So I find those are the easiest. Like you just like cut the painting in half, do like a mountain or two, and like some water or the sun or moon or whatever.
I wish we could take a look at one of those, but because I mean, you sounds like you're taking up on it's not, you know, you never know. You know, there's so many talented people in this world, and you could be one of them, especially with All Saints hook up. Let me
Yeah.
see. So, yeah, that sounds great. So, when you're in school, oh, what was your major? You mentioned college, but you didn't mention. I don't know if you're. Is it
Business.
okay
It's
to
a
mention your
business
school?
major.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice. And what is your minor or what is your specialty or concentration? What
Well,
types of?
the program is it's called Creative Industries. It's a program at used to be called Ryerson University. Now it's Toronto Metropolitan University. It's like a business program, but it's centered around the arts. So you can like get the business side of whatever arts you're interested in. You could, I think there's one for painting, to be honest, but it was like all centered around film, television, and music for me, like business of music, business of film. Yeah, so it kind of covers like all the general stuff with like everything you need to know for business 101, but then it specializes in like film, TV, and music.
And what's your specialty is going to be in? What's your focus is going to be film and TV or just or maybe
Definitely
new
film and
media?
TV.
What about new media
Probably
stuff?
media stuff. That could be cool. I've never really thought about doing media stuff, but yeah,
Like
I'd be
new
up for
media,
that.
new media. I'm sorry, new media.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Website, a big word for websites
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
social media.
Yeah. I mean, social media stuff. I mean, I guess I dabble in. I'll use like Instagram and stuff. I don't I don't know if I'd ever TikTok's a weird one for me because I don't know what I'd post if I did TikToks, but they're all over the place. So I feel like maybe I should try and get into it. I don't know.
You should definitely do it.
Yeah,
It's like 7 seconds or less. It's like snackable content. It's so
totally.
good.
Yeah.
So what are let me see. I was gonna ask you, oh, what are some of your favorite colors and why when you
Favorite
do
colors.
when you do paint?
Um, I it might be because I'm not very good at it, but every time I blend colors, they always end up as like muddy browns for some reason, even though I don't want them to be that. But I don't know. My favorite color is probably red. It's always been that way since I was a kid. But as far as like, I mean, painting, I'll just kind of mix it up. I'll do like orange, yellows, reds, and stuff. For clothes, I like more like earthy stuff like this, grays, blacks, browns, that kind of thing.
And what about favorite foods?
Favorite foods? Oh man, I love pasta. That's got to be my favorite.
Homemade pasta or box?
Homemade pasta. I also love like specifically gnocchi for some reason. Every time I see gnocchi on a menu, I have to get it. But yeah, definitely pasta.
And what kind? And is it vegan pasta or is it gluten-free pasta? Or and are you having any meat or a lot of veggies in your pastas?
I kind of mix it up with everything, to be honest. I like all of them. Like I've had tons of vegan pasta. There's a place in Toronto called La Planta that I go to a lot, where they have really great vegan food, gluten-free stuff, everything basically.
Yeah, Toronto is like, I mean, I've heard so many amazing things about it. Have you had any opportunities to travel any other parts of Canada, like Quebec and Montreal or Vancouver? And if so, which areas were your best?
Yeah, so I've been to quite a few places in Canada. My family, both my parents grew up in Montreal, in Quebec. So I
Oh,
visit there a lot because all my extended family's down there. I love that city. It's beautiful down there. I'll normally stay in like old Montreal area. It's so nice, like the cobblestone streets and stuff. I filmed something for a month that was out in Newfoundland. It was a TV show called Astor and Lily that's I think it came out start of this year. That was beautiful. I really like Newfoundland, just like the landscapes and stuff, the hiking trails and stuff like that. Because I was looking for stuff to do when I was out there, like because I was kind of by myself before I'd met all the other actors and stuff. And so hiking around there and stuff, gorgeous, gorgeous city.
And heard it's also definitely known for some of the, I guess, Broadway type plays or some of their live shows. Have you been to any of those live shows? One, two, do you speak French?
I wish. I tried. Like all through high school, I took French, and both my parents speak French, but it just never stuck. It just never stuck for me. I could probably read a little, but in terms of actually speaking it, I've totally lost it. As far as Broadway plays go, I do love Broadway stuff. I've always been a sucker for musicals. Like Hamilton's just my favorite thing ever. At least for 1 month of every year of my life, I'll exclusively listen to Hamilton. Like I'll just get the bug for it and only listen to that soundtrack. But yeah, I love Broadway stuff. Toronto has a lot of cool stuff as far as Broadway goes. I want to see there's a Harry Potter show that's going on in Toronto right now that I'd love to check out. Dear Evan Hansen was playing for a bit, and I'd love that one. Yeah, no, there's tons of cool stuff that comes through here.
Yeah, there is. That's what everyone says. It's a lot going on in that city. It's very bustling. So cool. That's nice. I love the fact that you have so much great energy. You're very focused. Like I said before, those eyes, it's like, get out of here, Carson.
Oh man.
Yeah, you have that's good. You're very attentive. Is there anything else you wanted to add that we didn't touch on already? I feel like we touched on a lot of things and categories.
Totally, yeah.
But is there anything else you want to speak to, or that we left out that you want people to know about you? Or
I don't think so. I think we really covered everything. Yeah, excited about the Luckiest Girl live movie coming out. If anyone wants to check it out, East and Middle West is coming out soon as well on pretty much every place that you can rent or buy movies. Yeah, so keep an eye out for those. That's about it.
Thanks, Carson. You're so cool. I'm so proud of you and all your recent success, and I can see why. Appreciate it. You got great taste.
I appreciate that.
But keep up the great work, and feel free to check back in with us, and we'll be in touch with you soon. And we can't wait to hear more great things about your career.
That's great. Yeah, thank you, man.
All right, thank you, Carson.
Awesome. Have a good one.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thanks.